Fanatic Fan TV, Football Fanatic Fan TV. Got I got a McEwen, Engelbrecht, Mr. Mac on the line, Liverpool supporter.
Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good to be here.
Check here. Let's get straight into the topic. Let's get into Liverpool's ambitions for the season. You're the most standout player. You're currently happy. Are you happy with the formations that your coach is playing? Yeah, will you see you guys at the end of the season?
Okay, for me personally, and for the club, I would say personally, definitely challenging for the Premier League, and until I say, well, with the very last rounds at least. So I think a good season would be challenging until the very end, at least in the Premier League. And if you would ask me, I would say ending up with one or two cups. I would say maybe, let's say, the Carabao Cup, maybe the FA Cup. I think the Champions League, personally, there's still a lot of strong teams left in the competition. So going far in the Champions League would definitely be right up there. Maybe the semi-finals. From there we could take it. But the FA Cup, it always depends on which team we're fielding because Jurgen Klopp always experiments with these kind of smaller cups. Let's call it that, smaller cups. So a good season for Liverpool would be challenging for the Premier League, ending, let's say, in the top two, if not winning it, and definitely
Okay,
the FA Cup.
let me say this though. How many points at the end of the season?
Well, the 97-point mark, I think it's not going to happen this season. I'm not sure if it's ever going to happen again, but well, let's say moving into the 80s, definitely into the late 80s where points is concerned, closer to the 90-point mark this season would be realistic. Seeing that we have had a good start, it wasn't the best start, but I would say we had a good start this far. And
Any surprise players so far? Surprise standouts for the 11 games that we're in? Any players like, wow, I didn't expect this player to shine. I didn't expect.
yeah, well, the player that really took me was a young kid from the academy. It's Harvey Elliott. I think he got injured. I don't know if he broke his leg or something, but
Yes,
he
yes,
was the
yes.
one that really it took me because we didn't sign any midfielders to replace Wijnaldum, especially. So I think the hope or the emphasis was on him to do a big job. And from the first few games when we started him, he actually surprised me and he stood his ground. He actually looked better than Curtis Jones, which last season was kind of the breakthrough young player from the club. But unfortunately for him, he got injured. Then there is other players in midfield that I really like. Naby Keita being one. When he plays, you can see he brings something to the team, but he's forever injured. He's always having these nigglings and these small kinds of injuries, and he's always sick or having a bout of flu or something. But I think the player that took me this season was Harvey Elliott. But now he's out and he's going to be out for a long time. So guys that I really want to carry us is the Mo Salahs, the Firminos, the Manes. But then again, of the front three, the two of them, Mane and Firmino, I think they have dropped a level. And Salah has actually gone up a level. So, yeah, the player that I really was looking forward to seeing much of was the Harvey Elliott kid. But now, then again, I've been reading that Curtis Jones is back in the team. He's good in training. So, of all the young players, those are the two names that I'm really looking forward to seeing. Then there's a guy like Diogo Jota. I think he brings something new to this team, whereas other seasons we would really depend on the front three, the Firminos, Mane, and Salah. But with Jota there's someone young, someone that we can look forward, building around and stuff. Because I think the cycle of the front three is coming to an end.
How many seasons they got?
First,
How many seasons they got in them?
for me personally, I think this is the final season for them together as a unit because at the end of this season, I would like Liverpool to sign someone in the front three, and I mean someone that can stake a claim, not just a backup. Because we've signed Jota for a backup, but if he plays, he doesn't really look like a backup. You understand what I'm saying? So
which means that that's a
for
good
me,
backup.
no. At the moment, he seems like the best backup we can buy. But um, in a team like Liverpool, the backup should be that good. That is what I'm just thinking. The
Yeah.
backup should be that good.
I like what you said. The Elliot Lighty, I saw him. I liked him a lot. I liked him a lot. Um, so for you to get to the last end of it, are you splitting the goals up? Are you saying Salah gives you Premier League goals? Salah gives you 35, 30 goals.
Yeah, you see, with Salah is a tricky one because the standard he has set now for himself at Liverpool, we almost expect Salah now to get in and around the 20 mark, if not more. If he gets less than 20, I will say it wasn't his best season. Like these last couple of campaigns, it would always be Mane and Firmino. The goals will drop on their side, but in Salah's department, it always seems to go up. Now, I hear a lot of people saying now Salah is greedy, Salah is this, Salah is that, but the stats is there to prove it. If you're greedy and you're scoring goals, you must be doing something right. Now I see his contract is running out. Now I see in the papers these guys like Jamie Carragher and these legends, they calling for Liverpool now to break the bank for him. Personally, I would give him another contract. I would give him another contract. I would make him the highest paid player in the club because of current moment, I think he deserves that even more than Van Dijk. Even though Van Dijk, he's a main mountain at the back. He keeps us glued. He's there. His stats is there for everyone to see. But I
Is
think
that
most
is that your term or did you steal that term, Man Mountain? Where did you get that one?
no. It's been used regularly. It's been used regularly.
I like that one. I've never heard of that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but like I said, personally, I would just break the bank for Salah because I think he's now 29, 30, I think. So I think he's reaching his best years. He's really into his peak now. So two, maybe 1, 2, let's say 2 solid years from him still. So you can always build around him. But look, man, like I said, in this moment, I think he's never been better than he is now. Even in his first season when he scored all those goals. I think he surprised himself in the first season when he scored 40 odd goals. Because if you look at the seasons after that, he was playing better, but he was scoring less. So I just think Liverpool just need to break the bank where he's concerned because I saw Van Dijk got an extension. I saw Henderson got an extension. Players like Fabinho, Alexander Arnold. So the mainstays, they got extensions on their contracts. There seemed to be a hold up on Salah's part or where he's concerned. Now I don't know, maybe, these players they like to play with the clubs, these agents to get a bigger deal. Now they're fishing with the names like Real and Barca, those type of names. But I think in the Premier League is now the best place to be, and especially if you with a top club at the moment. So yeah, I just think Liverpool need to break the bank where Salah is concerned. So
So clearly everyone knows Liverpool. There's those guys get in your box, they'll score. Liverpool, there's no issues when it comes to attacking. There's no you guys are superpowers in the front, no issue. What's it's clear like you drew against you do a couple of draws this season. Like what's happening in the back there? Where's the leak? Is it the Conte still understanding Van Dijk is guiding him? Where do you feel leak is happening there? Expose your club for me because our teams are playing each other the weekend. Let me hear.
okay, if I can give you a personal assessment of what I think. At the back, before when Dijk got injured, things were really solid. No? So everything was okay. Then he got injured.
That was a mess
Then
when he got injured. That was a
yes,
mess.
that is when things really got interested for me at the back. We tried a lot of combinations, and you know what? There's a guy like Joel Matip. personally, I like this guy. I like the way he plays, and I just like the player in him. But now, you won't find him starting every match. It's like Van Dijk will always be there while he's fit and ready to play, but his partner now becomes a problem. In the beginning, it was Van Dijk and Joe Gomez. You hear these stories. They were the best partnership for that season and all that. But now everyone is fit. You don't really see Joe Gomez. So Van Dijk is a quality player. I'm sure he can play with everyone. It looks like he can play with everyone at the back, but Liverpool concedes goals now. Look, I've been watching Liverpool's games quite closely, especially recently this season. Sometimes it looks like the teams they can really beat Liverpool, but then again,
The
it's
firepower.
exactly
The
it's as if
firepower.
it's exactly it's as if they're going back to the Brazil of old, like we used to say. They score three against us, we'll score five against them. So I think Liverpool is not. I would say they're not scared of conceding goals. Yes, obviously they want clean sheets, I'm sure of it, but it's like, no man, if these guys can score one or two against us, we'll just make sure we score four or five. You get what I'm saying? So most times the score line for me, it papers over a lot of cracks. We'll beat a team, say we'll beat Watford. We'll beat Watford 5-0. But if you look at the game, Watford had about 3, 4 clear-cut chances. They weren't clinical enough.
Or the,
On the day,
yeah.
on the day, Liverpool's goalkeeper in Alisson, he was just on it. So we're gonna say no. He made 4 fantastic saves. But if it were a better team, more clinical, they could have scored 4 against Liverpool. So to me, I don't know if it's the chop and changing in the back line, especially in the central area. Because if you look at it, on the right back, when Arnold is fit, he will always be there. On the left side, when Robertson is fit, he's always gonna play. In the centre back, even though Joe Matip is fit, you start on the bench. Even though Joe Gomez is fit, you start on the bench. The new kid we got now, Kunate. I was actually impressed with a few minutes I saw of him, and I think he's going to be someone that is going to be a quality for the years to come. I'm sure of it. He looks the part, but at the moment, um, we spoke about this earlier. Liverpool is playing a very high defensive line because they've become so confident in Van Dijk at the back, in Alisson at the back. Now, sometimes the miscommunication is there, clear for everyone to see. But then again, if you score first against Liverpool and you don't stick to your game plan, your defensive structure, you don't commit your players as you should, Liverpool will find a way. 9 times out of 10,
I agree.
when they
Yeah.
dominate possession, they're gonna find a way. But if you find them playing against these teams, they're structured, man. They know how to defend for 90 minutes. They organized. Then all of a sudden, Liverpool don't look that flashy to me. It's like, yes, we dominate the ball, but it's these sideways passes. Then the Salahs of this world don't come to the party, man. That is when I just think, well, that is where the gap between the Messis and the Ronaldos and these Salah guys is, man. Yes, they are in the Premier League. Salah is now at the best in his career, I would say, but sometimes it's when the team sit back and they want to defend. Sometimes Liverpool they can't break these teams down. Whereas you see a Man City, they play you into submission, man. Literally, they play you into submission. Where sometimes Liverpool they're not really there. So I would say Man City still sets the bar. Yes, Liverpool is close in behind them in second. I would say probably, but I would say Man City still, you know, they raise the level, they set the bar. So you won't see them conceding silly goals, man. Man City. A team really need to play against them or really need to, let's say, like most teams, they set up against Liverpool and Man City to play on the counter. They
Yeah.
set up like that. Now, it's not every game it's going to work, but when these teams, a Burnley, let's say a Burnley or Crystal Palace, if they set up correctly on the day and they manage to score first or just
There's a
be in the
chance
game
there.
until
There's
the
a
80th
yeah.
minute. No, there's always a chance
There's always a
against
chance.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
There's always a chance, mister.
But check here. I hear what you're saying there. So you're saying obviously you want to raise your level. So what I'm hearing is you want to dominate from start of the game to end of the game the way City plays. You don't want to give people a sniff of a chance. There shouldn't be a half chance. You dominate possession and you basically make them pay. It should be like a boxing match. You don't want them to throw a punch. You throw a punch. You want to dominate the punches.
Exactly. I have there's a quote that Pep Guardiola made one day. He said, "The teams can't hurt us when they don't have the ball,"
Yeah.
which means if we have the ball, they can't hurt us. I understand that perfectly because it makes sense. How will they ever score a goal if they don't have the
Yeah.
ball? Now the thing is this: you won't have 100% ball possession. So there will be spells in the game where you need to tackle for 10 minutes, for 7 minutes, 5 minutes, but it's all about the cohesion of the team. There is something that it really it stands out, especially at a club like Liverpool in the time of Jurgen Klopp now. The energy levels of the players, it's like these coaches, these managers, they know how to keep the energy level up there, and
I
the
agree with you.
demands of these coaches.
The one guy said Liverpool has a heavy metal style of football. And I was like, I never heard that before. I agree. It's fast paced, high energy. They'll bombard you non-stop. But I hear what you're saying. You're saying when the team comes to Liverpool and they don't want to play, Liverpool struggles.
Most times when the teams sit back, you would see Liverpool struggle because if you look at Liverpool over the last couple of years or the seasons, the bigger the team they play, the better they play. If they play a Man City or they play a Barca or a United,
A team that
then you
want, yeah,
all of a sudden you see the real Liverpool, these heavy metal, just going forward, bombing forward. Whereas you play let's say you play a Norwich. Yes, you know Liverpool most likely is going to beat Norwich, but there's always an element of, hey, what if Norwich score first? Hey, what if they knock us back in the 80th minute on Anfield? All of
yeah.
a sudden, you would hear these commentators say, hey, the stadium is getting nervous, it's getting itchy. That is not what I want. I don't say I want to dominate from start to finish. If we can, I would love that, but I would just like to control the game. Keep the
Most of the
chances
game.
keep the chances that we concede to a minimum. Yes, if there's a shot on our goalie, you have to make a save. I want him to make a save in the game so that I can see now you're actually earning your money. You're not standing there. No, no, no. You need to save us because you're the goalie. If you just look back at on the last match day, Liverpool got beaten by West Ham 3-2, I think the
Yeah.
score. The other day, I was just looking at the goals we conceded. Yes, we were crying for the free kick on the first goal. But the thing that I noticed, as soon as West Ham got the first corner, the set piece, they had two players on our goalie. The goalie was struggling with two players. I looked at it. I looked at it. They got the second corner. That team, they did the exact same thing. But now I'm thinking to myself, we're defending. So there's never once the goalkeeper is telling Van Dijk or Joel Matip, check here, this Antonio is literally on my toes. You could see it if you were watching the game. So the players inside the field, they needed to pick up on that. So I think two of the three goals, if not all three, I would say the goalkeeper was at fault. If you look at the second goal, that ball went right under him. He actually pushed it into the post or into the net by himself. So for me, I think the goalkeeper was at fault
Who has
for
been a
the last match.
player at Liverpool that you expected more from and it didn't reach his potential in the last 2 years?
Well, I think the first name that comes to mind is Naby Keita. When we signed him, when we were in talks with him, I actually followed up on him personally, just to check, no man, what was the hype about and why Jurgen Klopp wanted him? Because if you look at it, he had so many players, Jurgen Klopp at Dortmund, that you would welcome into the Liverpool team. I'm sure there would be 3 or 4 players that you would say, no, I'm going to pick them. But what I do find interesting is he never went back to Dortmund. Yes, he went back to Germany to scout the players there because he came from the German league and he knows the German league and all that. But I find it really interesting that he never went back to Dortmund. So when he went in for Naby Keita, I just thought, well, you're gonna get a midfielder now with the qualities that is not really there. If you look at the Jordan Henderson, okay, we had Zedan Sakiri, we have James Milner, which I don't really think is a midfielder. He can really play anywhere. If we don't have a left back, you go there. And that scares the loving daylight out of me when we play him in defense. But he's a player that can go in there. So
That is a club legend, bro.
no, I'm all good with the club legend. I call him personally, I call him the manager. That is James Milner because when you see James Milner, either when he comes from the bench or he starts, you know he needs to manage that position. They don't expect miracles from him. They don't expect him to bomb on the sidelines, put in crosses. He's more like a captain. He's more like a captain. He's more there to help Jordan Henderson because if you look at it, Henderson, sometimes you have a good game. But whereas other times you are there just to motivate the players, to bring the energy in midfield. Like you say, these heavy metal type of football. When you look at the Skirgen pressing of Jurgen Klopp, players like Jordan Henderson, he's gonna run for them. He's gonna choose them because they are the players that put in the most tackles, chase the people around. So
Yeah.
Henderson and those type of players,
So
they are important for those type of things within the club. But the player that I expected really to push on was Naby Keita.
when you signed Thiago, the ball, everyone was shocked. I think you paid 25 or I can't remember, 25 to 35 million pounds, 25 million pounds. Everyone was shocked. I was like, what? This doesn't make sense. That's a bargain? Do you feel he came as advertised?
Well, I think I was surprised at the fee we got him for. Seeing that he's a really classy player and with everything he came in with. But when I look at his last season at Munich, he was also becoming a bit part player in the team. He wasn't really starting all of the games. He wasn't a for sure starter. But when we got him, I actually, I got onto the fan parade and the bandwagon. Everything. I joined the fans about this because for me, it was just Liverpool. They dominate most games, right? So with a player like that in your ranks, you want a player to control the game because if you look at it, Fabinho, I think he's the one doing that now or for the last 2 seasons or so. No one's really controlling the game. Everyone is just bombing forward. But if you look at Thiago when he plays and when he's on song, he's going to make just 50, 60, 70 passes. Yes, it's not always just bombing the passes in forward for Salah and for Mane and for those guys to run onto. But it's just about for me taking control of the game. Know when to play it back, know when to play it forward. Because if you look at the top players in the Premier League, if you say Man City, for instance, these guys like Rodri, these guys like Fernandinho, Bernardo Silva, these midfielders, even Kevin De Bruyne, if you can take him, these guys, they know when to play the ball forward or when to just, take the press off, go back, restart, go back again, let's go, the zigzag up and down just to go again. Now, that is what I see in a player like Thiago. But unfortunately for him, the injuries now, sometimes the dip in form. So he was a player that I was really, hoping to see really setting the team alight or just pulling the strings. So when we started the season, there was actually people saying no. When he plays, Liverpool is slower. He's slowing down the play. But now you look at it. We played against Leeds United last season. Their coach Marcelo Bielsa, he said, if you slow Liverpool down, they are like an ordinary team.
True.
And I think, and I think he was spot on, man. Because if you look at our front line, it's speedy players. These are players that they like to move. But if you isolate these players, now it's like Mane is not there today. usually he's a guy that he thrives on one-on-one situations. Salah thrives on one-on-one situations, but now the team you set up, the wing back is actually defending Salah now. If you pass the wing back, you find the central defender in your face. Now that is where sometimes Liverpool, especially going forward, they lack the quality. Because if you look at Man City, they never just go crazy banging balls forward. That is a type of team that wants to play to get to the byline and actually pull it back. You'd see 1,000 of their goals if you just
Yeah,
watch the replays.
but that is
All
how
of the
they.
goals are
But
the
that is
same.
yeah, but that is how the team is set up though. Liverpool is totally set up different, and that's what makes him. That's what we love them for. Like you said, it's always heavy. It's heavy metal, and I love the way they play. It's always exciting.
Exactly,
It's always
exactly.
exciting.
So it just brings me back to the point of Thiago. People they say he makes the team slower, but personally I would say he makes the team better because now we have a player that can control the games. Let's say we 3-0 in front. We're not chasing anything now, so we need to keep the ball. That is the perfect guy to make 100 passes for you. He's never
Yeah,
gonna get tired of playing a pass back. He's never gonna get playing small ball, give and go. Where normally you would get the Oxlade Chamberlains, like the Zerdan Sakiris, or nowadays, okay, Curtis Jones, he's still a young boy learning his trade, so I can forgive him. But these experienced campaigners, they they they, they are too with a pattern of where to go forward. Even if it's 5-0, they're gonna try to bomb forward. Now that is where the chances that we concede comes in.
so game management. The game management is out.
Game management, it brings me back to game management. You see, if we lead 5-0, yes, your team always wants to score more. I understand Salah wants a hat trick, Mane wants a hat trick, but game management is important because if you manage the game, there's no way in hell the next team or the other team will penetrate you if you have the ball.
Yeah.
Your flow is just to knock it about. Have a training session in many ways. But like I say, to get back to Thiago, that is what I hoped he would bring, just the more control of the of possession. Because Liverpool is a team that mostly they dominate possession. I just thought when we brought him in, it's like, okay, I would hope the creativity would have gone up a notch, which hasn't really, especially from his side. But from what I've seen of him, he really makes us better. Or that is just what I think.
Okay, let me hear from your point of view. So Ronaldo signed for United. Sancho signed. Varane signed. Lukaku went to Chelsea. I'm an Arsenal supporter, right? So I have no the delusion. We'll end up in the top and we can fight for the league, right? I'm not involved there. But from your point of view, when I look from the outside, I just heard Chelsea. I just heard United can win the league. I even City's name was at the bottom. I'm like, what's happening here? I feel you. Liverpool gets to the Champions League final. Liverpool wins the league. It's like people still don't fear Liverpool. Their name is still not on the list. Do you agree with that sentiment, or am I crazy?
No, I totally disagree because for me, I would just go back in the last 2 to 3 seasons. Let's say 2, 3, 4 seasons, man. Um, I it's now for me. I'm a Liverpool supporter. Yes, I do get frustrated many many times, but even though these top sides they signed quality players, Chelsea got Lukaku, City got Grealish, United got we know who they got. Liverpool brought in that central defender in Canute.
Only one signing, yeah.
So, so to me, it's just about in the last couple of years, especially in the transfer market, Liverpool have looked after their business. Remember, Liverpool don't need a striker at the current moment in time to come score 50 goals because if you look at it, if you share the goals between the front amongst the front three, let's say you give Salah 25, you give Mane 19, you give Firmino 15. I'm sure you still managed to end up very high in the Premier League. So
I hear you, but
it's
what I'm saying is, when it comes to the media, when it comes to the fans, the City fans,
I get what you're saying.
yeah. Why
I
is
get what you're
Liverpool's
saying.
name so low on the list? Do you agree with their name being that low on the list?
I absolutely disagree because
Yes,
if anything, City, no, I would say they are still the outright number one. But if anyone comes close to challenging over a period of a season, I would say it's Liverpool in this current moment in time because
not this current moment, for the last 3 4 years has been Liverpool.
exactly
But I
the
feel
only reason why I'm actually saying this is because the experience this group of players that Liverpool has got now has built. They know how success tastes. They know how defeat in the final tastes. So the experience is there. They know how to go a marathon, as many people say. But I understand the fans and the media because like me and you we spoke earlier, they always seems to Liverpool especially, they concede these chances, man. Sometimes if you watch the game, it looks a bit comical for a top club like Liverpool. There's literally sometimes when these lesser teams, if I can call them that, when they have Liverpool's on the balls, they have them at the balls, man. It's like no, we're actually struggling against these teams, but then eventually the quality shines through at the end. So we're gonna say no,
so
Norwich was
okay.
good,
So
but
so
of
so you're
course,
saying that makes people not count Liverpool in.
well, and the fact I would say the fact that they've won the Premier League only once now. If you would add another Premier League title to the list, let's say in this last 3 to 4 years, if you would add another Premier League title, because if you look at it, Liverpool have now won the Champions League and they've won the Premier League. So
I get that's my
so
point.
they,
I
they, they've
feel
got a case. They
yes,
have got a major case,
but
but still, as you say, the media and the fans, they're not putting Liverpool as an outright number one or a number two. But I think they've built enough credit up in the bank to play with, at least to say this is one of the main challenges, definitely.
so let's say, so you said you won 2 cups this year. What guaranteed cups do you want?
Well, if I think there's one cup that this club, Liverpool, really need to take serious, okay, I think we should take all the cups or the silverware that up for grab. Every cup needs to be taken serious. But ever since Jurgen Klopp came in, he's been experimenting with the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. It's the old league cup. So if you look at City, they've been winning the Carabao Cup for the last four to
Yeah,
five years.
4 years. Yeah,
So that tells me they have been actually taking this cup seriously. Whereas
they
Liverpool
own
have always
they
been
they're out of it now, but they actually own that cup.
exactly. No, I agree with you 100%. Whereas Liverpool would always be knocked out in the first or the second round. But then you look at the Champions League, we always seem to go a bit further every season, or in the Premier League, we always do better. But it's those two cups, especially, we never in conversation when it gets to the later stages or you get what I'm saying? Because yes, we've won the FA Cup in the past and the Carabao, but ever since Jurgen Klopp came in, those are the two cups we've never even come close to winning.
Okay,
So
so let me say this for Arsenal, right? I I feel as a successful season, we win the FA Cup, right? I feel we stay in there till the last for top four, top six, no problem. For the current squad we have, top six. But if people are messing up, United's messing up, Everton's not doing well, Leicester a little bit not doing well, Tottenham's not doing well. If the season goes like this, where the Premier League throws you a curveball season where everyone's shocked, I feel we should be right up there till the end for top four, and even then do what a Wenger did, take a rabbit out the hat and be in the top four. That will be the icing on the cake. But FA Cup for me, it must be a trophy. So Liverpool, obviously your expectations is higher. According to me, you guys have been doing well in the past. What do you feel as a must? We must end off the season with this. So you want it must be a FA Cup, or it must be the league. What must it be?
I would say definitely silverware. Whether it's the FA Cup, whether it's the Carabao Cup, the Premier League, or the Champions League. Silverware, definitely. where the Premier League is concerned, well, I would say the teams have become really inconsistent. Bah, Manchester City and Liverpool. These are the two teams you almost expect to be there at the end of the season. But at the current moment in time, you put in a name like Chelsea. If you look at Chelsea's squad, the players they have, the coaching they have now, to me, if I can give an honest assessment about what I've seen from them, I think they can really challenge and
Yeah.
they can maybe end up winning the league. No, really, I give them that much respect. As it looks 10, 11 games in, and as I've seen them in Europe, they have the squad capacity now, the players to actually maybe win the Premier League. But for me, it is still Man City and Liverpool right up there. Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham, Leicester,
West Ham.
and West Ham. Look, it's really getting really congested. The top six, I would say, it's getting congested, my man. But now the inconsistency of a lot of teams that you expect to end up in the top four, the top three, or whatever, these teams are now falling over to their feet. Where a team like Arsenal, your team, the form is actually picking up, and no one is really taking note of Arsenal. Listen, Arteta.
I like it that way.
Yes. Listen, Arteta. Now that the attention is not really on him, the focus is not really. Remember, Arsenal is now outside. They are now outside of the top six or the top four. No one is really talking about them, taking note of them. In the meantime, the form, I think they are close to the top where it comes to the form table in the current moment in time.
Top,
So
top, not
if,
close to the top. We're on top.
exactly. So if I look at Arsenal, if they can continue on this run, I won't say, let's say they're gonna stay unbeaten for the rest of the season and all that. If they can put a consistent run together, by the time teams like Man United, these are the top six names. By the time they
Sort their
wake up,
lives up. Yeah, sort their lives out.
yeah, exactly. By the time they wake up, a team like Arsenal should be stationed well within the top four. And I think personally, if they can manage to find themselves sitting pretty inside the top four, going into let's say next year March, beginning April, they have every chance to believe. Because listen, your form, it will take you far. I believe in an unbeaten run. That is the main thing. If you can go 10 games
In
unbeaten,
the Premier League,
Premier League 10,
you
whether you've drawn 3 or 4, but 10 games unbeaten. No, that is a consistent run for me. You understand? So at the moment, Arsenal, if you look at their results, they've been playing good and they've been winning well. So that tells me most of the players they're starting to become how can you say, they've gelled now. Most of the players, they understand what Arteta wants from them, and now the board of Arsenal, it seems like they're actually happy with Arteta. They're not. Whereas in the beginning of the season, you guys started rock bottom. I think you didn't get a point for
a
whenever.
point or a
That,
goal in all 3 games to begin the first 3 games.
exactly. Then I actually heard people saying, "No, Arteta, you have to go. He must go." But then I think you haven't even given him a real chance. Did Arsenal really give him some money? Can they open the checkbook for him, for the players he wants?
Which they did this season.
So I think now, for sticking with Arteta, it's paying now dividends. So I think the Arsenal board is seeing now Arteta is getting what he wants, his performances, his type of players, and now it's all starting to look better for Arsenal. So
So give
if
me,
they can just
yeah. So give me. Let's end off here. Give me 3 scenarios. What happens the weekend? If this Liverpool comes and plays, give me this. Give me that. Give me 3 different scenarios of what Liverpool
well,
does. What Liverpool team? What style do they pitch up at in the weekend? I'm gonna give you.
well,
I'm gonna give you my scenario. My scenario is I like the fact I told you this afternoon. I like the fact I'm not even saying we're winning. I just like the fact that Arsenal can defend, play without the ball, without cracking under pressure for 15 minutes, which Arsenal could never do that. Ever, ever, ever. Right. I like the fact that Arsenal they have a set piece coach for set pieces, and then that We score from set pieces, and you do not score. You can't score anymore. Uh,
Yeah, I understand.
do you understand? So,
Yeah.
what's your prediction for the weekend? What do you? Yeah, what's your prediction? What's your first 11? Who do you think is starting the weekend?
Well, personally, I'm gonna go with 3 points for Liverpool. I feel just at the current moment in time, yes, Arsenal is playing better. Results are turning their way, and they are climbing up the table. Yes, but I still feel Liverpool have the edge. I don't think Liverpool will blow them away like in seasons before. But that all depends on which Arsenal pitches up. Like you say, this is the Arsenal that can defend better now. They have a better understanding of each other in defensive positions, set pieces. Those are the things that used to break Arsenal down.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying, but I just feel personally Liverpool still have the edge. And barring any injuries, I just read the afternoon that Jordan Henderson left the England camp because he has a injury concern. So with Liverpool, there's always a shuffle, whether it be in midfield or in defense. I always expect a change from Jurgen Klopp.
Do you feel
But I do.
okay? Give me the midfield then. We know your defense is stable. You play
So,
Arnold on the
so,
right, Van Dijk.
so, so last week in midfield, the last time out, we started with James Milner, Fabinho, and Jordan Henderson, I think. I think we lost James Milner to an injury, so he's definitely out. Keita, he was a doubt for the last game. They said over international break he might be back. I don't know if he played for his country, but if he's back, we're playing at Anfield, so we're not gonna play a defensive game plan for sure, or not start out with it. So I expect Fabinho in midfield in the holding role, and I expect Naby Keita to play. Then it is if Jordan Henderson is available, I'm sure he's gonna play. Jurgen Klopp won't just leave him out for any good reason. If he's there, he will play.
So, okay,
So
so
I
give me
think
score.
that
Okay. I like the fact that if Keita plays, I like the fact that you guys are on the front foot. I prefer that game because Arsenal is amazing on the counter. Honestly, if Arsenal has the ball, Arsenal's confused if they dominate position. They don't know what to do. But if Arsenal win the ball from the back, it flies out to Partey and he booms to Saka, he booms to Smith Rowe. I don't care if Odegaard's playing. I don't care if Lacazette. I would like Lacazette to start in the number 10 role again. He holds the ball, he plays Saka, he plays Smith Rowe, and then the pace goes forward. So I feel we have actually stand a chance against a team like Liverpool just because of your style of play, and we love playing on the counter attack. Score.
I,
So
I
you're winning the game. Give me score prediction.
I would say 3-1 to Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool, yes.
Is a game in the background here on the TV. England is 9 up.
Oh my God.
I think that's not exciting when it comes to the qualifiers because countries that it's not competitive. These guys are winning 9. Germany winning
Yeah,
9.
it's these countries like San Marino and these things,
I
bro.
think they all have a million people in that country. We're not interested in watching people like that.
Exactly,
These
exactly.
are footballers that actually have jobs also.
Exactly.
So yeah,
I wa-
so we're gonna get another call of the week. Myself, you, our maybe 2, 3 other people.
Sure, sure.
We're gonna do a betting show. So we're gonna put our predictions on and we're betting. Guys,
Okay, okay, no
please bet
problem.
responsibly. I'm not a big betting guy. But
I am a betting guy, but I don't really win that much.
so which means your predictions wrong for Liverpool this week.
Oh, yeah. Let's hope it's right, bro. Let's hope it's right.
You said when you bet you're wrong, so hopefully you're wrong again this weekend in my favor.
Yeah,
If you play the betting, how do you play? People do score, draw, first off, blah blah blah.
yeah,
I don't understand.
yeah,
It confuses the heck out of me.
yeah. I think there's too many options for me, man. I've explored a lot of options, but the option that have paid me the last time I won is the option that I play. Let's say it's Arsenal versus Liverpool. It's Liverpool versus Arsenal. So I would play Liverpool to win, but both teams to score, which means a 2-1 win for Liverpool, a
Yeah.
3-1, 4-1 exact. in that manner. So that is the option that is. I don't know if you look at the results around the world, especially Premier League and the other big top five leagues, as they say. There's goals galore, man. So I've tried to stick with the options for both teams to score. So whenever a team wins, it would always be
2
2-1,
1.
5-1, 3-1. But
But, but what I'm
it's
gonna
not
do
always
now,
the case, but I'm leaning towards that option
so
now mostly.
whatever you're gonna say, I'm gonna go the opposite. Because you say you're not winning.
I'm not winning. I'm not winning. And listen, let me tell you something. I'm not a good betting man. Recently, I put some money on Man United. Oh, my brother, no, man. I lost my money. I lost my money. I lost my money.
No, I feel if you go on a team that has a good defensive record, Chelsea they've conceded the least
No,
amount of goals.
I,
So
I
I feel
actually went. I
yeah,
actually went for Man United to beat Man City.
because the chances were 'cause your money because your chances of winning was sorry your potential of
No,
winning was higher.
no,
That's why.
nothing to do with the money that was on United. For the sole fact, Oli seems to have the number of Pep in these couple of seasons. I don't know how, but they managed to beat City even when City are at the best. So I just thought maybe, Old Trafford, Ronaldo factor. I just threw everything into that account. No, man, these guys can do it
So
today.
so if
But
so how do you
this
play? Do
Man
you play?
United is a shadow of their former self, my
Do
brother.
you? Yeah, we'll get to that topic of later in the week. Because it's been spoken about to death because everyone's shocked and Ollie's not a good manager. If okay, it's clear now for Teta to but before if you asked me last season, Teta or Ollie, I'm gonna say Ollie. I'm gonna say Teta. Clearly, I'm gonna
Yeah,
say Teta now. But even if you ask me when Arsenal ended eighth last season, I'll still
sure, sure.
I would have said Teta. So
I understand.
if you bet, how many games do you play all the Premier League games the weekend, or do you break it up into 3 games? How does it work?
When I started out, I would just throw the full Premier League roster
Fixtures, yeah.
into it. But my man, I've had so many disappointments. I've cut it down now to 3, 4 games if I can. I don't have the finance or the bank account, which I would really only like to play one game. But so yeah, I'm at the current moment. I'm just operating between 3, maybe 4 sometimes.
Do you put your team's name in the hat there, or do you?
No, no, and I do stay and I do try to stay away from these bigger clubs, the Liverpools, the Cities, the Real Madrids. But now the inconsistency of the football it makes me interested in these big games just because now I'm gonna put Norwich to beat Liverpool. Okay, I'm gonna lose my money because 9 times out of 10 Liverpool is gonna beat them. But
That's my point, and the name of the game is to win the money.
exactly. So I'm siding with these lesser teams now. Okay, it doesn't guarantee me money still, but you look at the results yourself. You see the football. I mean, just last night, I actually put some money on Bafana because I just thought maybe this is just a fucked up year or the strange year. Even though they play in Ghana, I put money on them last night. They threw me out. Okay, okay. Thank you, Bafana. I'm sorry for you. So yeah, like I said, I'm just tuning it down now. 4, 3 games. So yeah, I'm just shuffling between those games. 3, 2.
Yeah, so I'm still working on my strategy. That's how I asked you what's your current strategy. So I want to work on my
No,
strategy.
I'm in between a lot of strategies, my bro.
Check here. I don't understand. Are the guys that win it? Are they smart at football or are they smart at guessing?
No, I totally disagree with they are smart at football.
But they're winning. But they're winning.
No, no. There's another lady here just close to me. She won some money the other day. She doesn't even know football and she's betting on the championship in England. She's playing only the championship in England.
I'm
I asked her,
confused. I'm
listen,
confused.
how is your knowledge in football? She tells me she play on odds only. Does it make sense for you?
So she's a numbers person.
A numbers person. You don't even really like football. So I can't go on the odds. I'm not a guy that just go with the odds because listen, if
Okay.
if
Does
if
she go on
if,
the
if
loss? She just go on the odds on who has the higher chance of winning, so she'll get less money.
Exactly. Let's say you just play Crystal Palace in Man City. You're just gonna take a 20 rand and just shove it into Crystal Palace. Now today, Crystal Palace you win 2-0. It's one in every 10 games, but now you've thrown that money on Palace. Whereas me, I'm just gonna no man, not today. Just City surely. You 10 games unbeaten. Crystal Palace have conceded 10 in the last 20. I don't care. How can I go with Crystal
Yes, that's
Palace?
what I do. That's what I do, and I don't know.
And you
I haven't
see,
even played a handful of times. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have a strategy because I've played like 3 times, but the 3 times I play, I haven't won. I'm like, I'm tired of giving money away. I don't want to play. I don't want to play this. I'm anxious. I'm looking
no,
at the games.
yo,
I'm saying,
yo, let me
please
tell
defend,
you.
please defend, please defend, please score,
No,
please score. I'm supporting teams I don't even like.
my brother, let me tell you, man. Yo, I've been so close into winning some really good money, man. That is what keeps me actually. To be honest with
Dude,
you,
I hear people winning 7,000. I'm like, why am I not involved, dude?
Angelo,
I love
let
the
me
game.
tell you. Let me tell you, my brother. I've been so close. Okay, I've been in and around the money. I'm used to winning under 1,000. No, I'm used to that now. That's like 400, 700, 300, 200. I'm used to that. But whenever it gets thousands of rands, there's always this one team, this two teams that decides, no, we can't go together with this guy. And I've explored a lot of options, but it comes back to at the end of the day, it's the football on the day, man. You understand? So you don't know which teams are gonna rock up. You just have to go with what you think you have. Because listen, like I tell you, I try to stay away from these big teams, no? Because the money it gets smaller on them. But if you really want to win, think about this. You have to go with these big teams because out of 10 games, City will win 7 for sure.
England has
Maybe they'll lose 2 and draw 1, or draw 2
yeah.
and lose 1. But 7 out of 10 games, which means 7 out of 10 times you can win if you go with
Yeah.
them.
England scored a 10 goal now.
No, man. They must stop. Germany won 7 or 8 the other night.
Yeah. Check here. Yeah. But I'm confused. Who are these people that are winning 8,000? What do they do? I'm confused. How do you get to
I've tried
8,000?
to. I've, I've, recently I've met with some people that's been winning, and I've asked these guys, yeah, check here, man, what can a person do? So the other guy, he won about 14,000 or 13,500. He
Who did he
told me
bet on?
no.
Did he bet on Norwich is
No,
winning
I
City?
asked him. Now, when I asked him, he said no. He played, I think it was 4 or 5 teams. So I asked him, which teams are this? He said he only played 2 teams from the bigger leagues. No? So he said one in England and one in Italy. Okay, didn't give the names. But he said from those 5 or 4 games, it was 4 or 5. Yeah, he said he played 2 big teams. And the other 2 or 3 was in a lesser league. So, according to my knowledge, when you go to these lesser leagues, the money is more, the odds is more on those teams. Even though this team is the best in the country for a while now, the money is good in the lesser leagues. So, okay, then he told me, when you are betting, man, you must be ready to lose your money. Okay, we all know and
I agree.
understand that,
I
right?
understand that part. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So he told me he played 4 or 5 games and he took 100 rand and he put it on that ticket. So I asked him, yeah, now which options did you take? He
Yes.
said he said he played all of the games, both teams to score. So 1-1, 2-1, I don't
So
care. You understand that both teams
it
score.
doesn't talk about who's winning. Just both teams score.
And that is just the options, my bro. You don't even need to say who's gonna win. Both teams to score, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
1-1, you
Wow.
good. 1-1, you good. So, but I've tried these options, brother, man.
Okay, but that is
And
like
I
I
played
said.
maybe 7 games.
Yeah.
Nah? Let's take 7 games. So there's in the Premier League there's 10 rounds. Nah? There's 20 teams, so there's
Yeah.
10 rounds. Now let's say on Saturday they give you 6 rounds. The other 4 is gonna be on Sunday. So I take the full Premier League fixture list of Saturday. Then I just throw everyone both to score. But when you look at the results, you find there's always the 1-0 or the 0-0. So that kicks you out. But whereas other weekends, when I explore other options, I would find everyone has scored. I want to stick with the same option every week, but then I start to get the feeling, no, man, I need to change because the form of the teams are picking up, the levels are dropping of some of the teams. I think I've thought about a lot of stuff.
But as I'm saying, I don't understand these guys that talk about 14,000. I'm like, what do you guys do? Are you guys are you football guys? Are you
Please
betting
let
guys? Are
them,
you
please
football
let them
guys?
send me some emails of how to do it, my brother. I beg you, man.
I'm gonna be on a mission now. Yo, thank you for your time. We're getting to the betting show. We'll do Wednesday, Thursday, and obviously come out on Friday. So we'll do the betting show, where we go more in depth on who we're betting on. So my strategy is I'm gonna put $50 on what you're saying, $50 what Sky is saying, $50 what Zane's saying, $50 what I was saying. I'm playing $200 and I'm seeing who's winning.
No, I'm sure you could win some money. With all of the options you have, I'm sure you can win something.
Thanks, man. That's your show for today. Yo, yo, you're on the show. You need to follow, subscribe to the show, like all the videos of the show, watch all the videos every day when there's free Wi-Fi. Just get our watch time up, man. Come on, send to your
Yeah, so
friends.
no, I'll check it. I'll check in tomorrow when I have the Wi-Fi connection. I'll just
Yes,
go through
send to your friends and family. Let them watch it.
So no, I'll make sure I send it around, bro.
I must probably when I'm done with the show, I'm gonna send it to Rufus to watch and hopefully get him on it. He's gonna laugh at you, mas. What, praat die man?
Yeah. No, it's cool, bro.
Okay, cheers.
Okay, so thanks for the time, bro, man. Sup.